My name is John Graham, and I'm the badass granddad you didn't know you had. I'm here to tell you another story of my adventures. We'll call this one Staring Down a Deadly Snake in Africa. And from the story, I hope you'll gain something about taking risks and living a life with meaning, courage, and passion. Anyway, I've been a mountain climber my whole life. I always loved to climb big, dangerous mountains and high cliffs. So I've always thought to do that wherever I've lived. When I was in the Foreign Service, however, the first place the Foreign Service sent me was to a small, sleepy jungle country in West Africa, Liberia, and I was stationed in the capital city, Monrovia. There wasn't a mountain within 1,000 miles. All they had was a scruffy cliff, maybe 200 or 300 feet off of the edge of the port. And it was full of dirty rocks, covered with moss. It wasn't technically difficult, whatever, but it's all they had. So I determined that I would go out and climb it. So I tell a Liberian friend this, and he says, well, John, you know, there's a reason they call where you're going Mamba Point. I say, what's that? He says, well, because here in Liberia, we have these little green snakes called green mambas, and they're incredibly poisonous. I think they're the most poisonous snakes on the planet. And they like to sun themselves on the hot rocks, like the ones on the cliff you're thinking about going to climb. Well, I ignore my friend, and I go out to the base of the cliff on Mamba Point and start climbing, and sure enough, it's a really rotten climb, and it isn't very much fun. And I get about halfway up, and I poke my head over the edge of a ledge, and I see this little green snake staring me in the face. Oh, my God, it's a green mamba. I gently pull my head back and retreat. What's the lesson here? Well, the lesson is that it was an incredibly stupid thing for me to ignore my friend and even attempt this climb. As you know, you've heard me say for a long time now that I think that taking risks is an important part of life, and that a life without taking risks is a life that's boring and essentially inconsequential. But you got to take smart risks and not stupid ones. And what I was doing on Mamba Point was an incredibly stupid risk. Smart risks mean doing planning, assessing your own skills and resources, assessing best you can the odds of success versus the odds of failure, and then making sure that the benefits of success justify the risk. I'll add, too, looking also at your own motivation. All of these things I was lacking in what I did. What I did was just plain stupid. I did it because I was bored. Same thing is true for you. If you're thinking about doing something risky, just because you're bored, don't.